Is this really one of the worst places to live in the UK? There's only one way to find out. Welcome to Newcastle upon Tyne, home of the geordies and home of the iconic Tyne Bridge. Look how beautiful that is. But is Newcastle really voted one of the worst places to live in the UK? Well, there's only one way to find out. This is my home city. I was born and bred here. So let's go and check out Newcastle upon Tyne. So just a little background information. I was born in Newcastle upon Tyne, born and raised here, and I actually lived in a council estate called Kenton, which is a bit of a notorious estate in Newcastle, not the nicest of places to live. And so I do know all the good places and I do know all the bad places, but I think we should just have a look around and decide for ourselves. So I'm going to show you a part of Newcastle which actually shocks me. It actually freaks me out, because this part of the city centre, at one point when I was sort of in my late teens, early 20s, this was a really thriving, what I would call a posh area, because there was posh restaurants, there was a very posh private gym, a very posh club. Now I'm going to show you. Check this out. So believe it or not, this here used to be such a beautiful area. Now you can't really tell now, but on the left here was a restaurant. Where all this graffiti is now, this was all windows, and you'd see the people sitting at the tables eating a beautiful food. It was such a posh restaurant. And I remember as a teenager walking past here to college thinking, wow, one day I would love to be able to afford to sit in a nice restaurant like that and eat food like these people are. Now look at it. It's absolutely crazy how much has changed. And then if I turn to my right, what we had here, now if there's any pictures on the internet, I'll put them up. This used to be a club called NE1. If there's anybody from Newcastle watching this, you know exactly what I mean. NE1 nightclub. And I used to come here, I used to stand there, the bouncers would be checking your ID. Such memories. Now look at it. And then the club actually closed down, and they turned it into a health club. Now I think the health club was called, no, I'm gonna have to check it up on the internet, but there was basically a health club there. It was a private health club, very expensive, very exclusive. It was before the days of Pure Gym and all those big chains. And now look at it. Ivy Court, was Ivy Court? I can't remember. But now look at it. From a nightclub to a private health club to this. It's so derelict and run down. Even the roof, look, everything is just decaying and rotting. Now I'm no historian, but I think back in the 60s Newcastle tried to develop these walkways above the main road to create a sort of shopping experience without having to cross over many roads. But as you can see, it didn't really turn out very well. It's all very graffitied and quite dangerous, to be honest. From what I can read on the internet, the developers try to make it that shopping experience without having the hustle and bustle of cars and buses going by. You could just walk from one shop to the next through these walkways. But when you look, I mean, really, would you want to walk around here at night? I mean, even during the day? Graffiti looks good though. That's good graffiti art. You know what? I'm going to do me good deed for the day. It's only £5, but you know, it's for a good cause. Bless them. Come on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, that's all right. It's just for my YouTube vlog, don't worry. All right, take care. Tell you what, you wouldn't want to walk through here at night time. That's for sure. Whew. Oh yeah, there is still a restaurant there. Oh yeah, I never knew there was a restaurant still there. The other thing as well, where I'm standing now is one of the main roads that goes through Newcastle. You can see behind us there. we've got the big motorway. But what you have over here is such an ugly looking building. Look at it. All the windows are smashed. There's graffiti everywhere. In fact, look at those windows all smashed. Imagine if bits of glass fell out and landed on somebody down there. That's dangerous. But this is what you met with when you come to Newcastle. Vandalised, graffitied and smashed up ugly buildings. And you can see the main road there. This is like the heart of Newcastle. This is the main road. There's all the traffic going from the south to the north. Wow. It really shows how beautiful Newcastle is when you're driving through and you're met with this ugly, disgusting building. The one thing which Newcastle has a lot of is a lot of these little creepy, eerie sort of little walkways. Now if we go left that way, that'll take us into the city centre, but it's all these scary looking tunnels which you do not want to be walking down there late at night. You can see everything is all closed off, and even look at this building here. Look, it's all graffitied, it's all boarded up. It's just not a very nice sort of place to be walking around, especially late at night. So like this area here, I don't really know what's going on with this area. This looks like it was a office blocks. I don't know if they're being redeveloped or if they've just been left, but it just looks so neglected and disused. And this is just a public walkway. Anybody can just walk through here. I have actually walked through here at night time once, and I'll be honest, it was pretty creepy because you just don't know who's lurking around these pillows in these subways, and there's loads of these subways connecting everywhere around Newcastle city centre. So let's head through one of these subways into the city centre itself and see if there's anything nicer. So this is the heart of Newcastle. This is the big roundabout called the Swan House roundabout, because there you've got the Tyne Bridge, and then over here you've got this used to be Lineker's Bar years ago, but it didn't do very well, so it closed down. You've got the Purple Peacock, very nice restaurant, and then this building here which is called 55 Degrees. This is luxury accommodation. Upstairs there you've got beautiful penthouses, and then they've just built this massive building here. This has just been finished. I don't even know what it is, office blocks maybe, but this area here, it's actually quite nice. You've got nice restaurants, you've got nice pubs, and then you've got a beautiful view of the Tyne Bridge there. There's no shortage of restaurants and places to get food in Newcastle. Now it is early in the morning. I've just came straight from the gym. I'm doing a lot of walking to make this video today, so I need something to eat. So I'm going to go to my favourite little restaurant, which is called the Naked Deli, and I'm just going to grab a protein shake, just something light, because I'm trying to keep the carbs down to go to Poland next week, so I can actually squeeze in my clothes. So here we are, Naked Deli. Check it out. Naked Deli, and I'm going to grab the peanut butter and banana smoothie. I think that's what I'm going to go for today. Cheers. This stuff is amazing. Peanut butter and banana, delicious. That is my breakfast for the day. Now, one of the other reasons why Newcastle has become so famous in the last sort of 10 years is a program called Geordie Show. You've probably seen it before, and it really put Newcastle on the map because of how crazy and insane these Geordie people were partying. And Newcastle is, or was, one of the most party capitals in the UK. So we're going to have a look around at all the various clubs, pubs, and to see why is it the party capital. It's been a long time since I've been in the city centre partying, that's for sure. I'm just used to drinking these things, not alcohol. There must be a lot of wealthy people in Newcastle because there's a lot of high-end shops. What we got there? Boss. I can't afford a shop in there. One day maybe. And then next door you've got the this is brand new, the Bretling watch shop. I really want one of those watches, but can't afford it just yet. There's a lot of high-end jewelers like Northern Goldsmith, Omega. Next door you've got the North Face. So there's plenty of designer shops here in Newcastle. Now, I know absolutely nothing about football. I'm not a football fan. I'm probably one of the only Geordie people in Newcastle who knows nothing about football, but I thought I'd give you the tour and show you Newcastle's, I think it's called St James's Football Stadium. So this is where Newcastle United play. And like I said, I know absolutely nothing about football, but there it is. If you're a football fan, there's our stadium. You've got Shearer's Bar there. Is it Shearer's Bar? Yeah, Shearer's Bar there, because obviously Alan Shearer, from what I know, was one of Newcastle's greatest football players. So there you are. If you are a football historian, that is Newcastle United's stadium. Wow, blown away. So this is new. This is the St James Stack right next to the football stadium, and I've actually been there. It's quite cool. It's very nice. It's all these containers put together to make a sort of restaurant, bar and entertainment area, and it's actually quite nice. I think they're putting stacks up most cities. Very cool. So this is the main street in Chinatown. You will find plenty of Chinese restaurants, obviously, and I have dined in a few of them. They are very, very nice, and I like all these decorations here. I don't know what they are, balloons, lanterns, but it's very pretty, very nice. The toilet roll on the floor. So we're just going to start making our way down the Quayside, which is probably the most beautiful part of Newcastle. But just down here, you can see peeking out in the distance there is Newcastle Central Station. A very, very beautiful and historical building. Is this vlog turned out to be a bit of a history tour or what? Let's have a look. There you are. That is Newcastle Central Station. A very fine masterpiece of a building. Again, just in case we've got any historian geeks watching this, they might be interested. There it is, Newcastle Central Station. These are the last few steps before we actually get down to the quayside where the river is. And again, we've got these really creepy little sort of alleyways and corridors, very narrow. And you can see actually a lot of these little corridors have been closed off. I remember walking along here many times, and it just seems so dangerous. I think that's why they've actually closed it off now, because it probably is too dangerous. People lurking around the corners in the bushes, and you can even see down here, just these are people's apartments and windows. These are people's balconies. And then you've got these really sort of isolated corridors where, you know, anybody could be lurking around there. So it's understandable why they've probably fenced it all off and closed most of it up. Sad, because these are actually really nice apartments. Look at them, lovely apartments, but you can see all these little corridors have all been closed off, probably for safety reasons. I mean, you wouldn't really want that as your bedroom window. I don't know, is it a bedroom window, kitchen window? But look at it, just on the stairs there, your window, and then of course you've got window there. You imagine looking out of your bedroom window to this little dark alleyway. Ooh, not for me. No. I'd rather live somewhere else. But then when you come down here, look, when you get down here, you've got this. Beautiful quayside, all these lovely buildings, all these nice restaurants, hotels, beautiful. But then you turn around and you've got these really freaky stairs. The one thing I do love about the quayside is the quality of all the restaurants. My favourite restaurant in Newcastle is here. I'll just flip around. Gino De Campo, I don't think so you say it. This has got to be one of my most favourite restaurants. Absolutely amazing. Quality of the food is unreal. Price is a little bit steep, but you know, you get what you pay for. We're not going there today. We are going from the most expensive to the cheapest. We're going to go next door to Wetherspoons, because I need a coffee. I have already done 12,000 steps walking around Newcastle city centre. I'm getting pretty thirsty and I'm busting for the toilet as well. So I'm going to grab a coffee, which is refillable, and I'm going to nip the loo as well. And I also want to show you why Newcastle is also famous. Check this out. Look at all of the bridges. You've got, I can't even name them. I think that's a King Edward Bridge. You've got the Swing Bridge, you've got the Tyne Bridge, and then behind that you've got the Millennium Bridge. And if I turn this way, you've got another bridge there, you've got the Red Shoe Bridge. You get what I'm saying. There's a lot of bridges. We Geordies, we like to build bridges across places, as you can see. Anyway, coffee, Wetherspoons, let's go. So for the nightlife, most people come down to Quayside to party because there's so many different clubs, pubs, restaurants. I mean, you've got this here. I've only been once, but it's quite nice. The Hard Rock Cafe. They're literally everywhere you go in the world, but it's quite a nice little club, restaurant. Don't know what you're going to call it. Over here we've got a GEEK, which is a very nice club, very top-notch, fairly expensive. But then if you just flip over to the left here, have a look at these buildings. That's what I love about Newcastle Quayside, is look at these buildings. These buildings are so old. In fact, you can see how they're bending and dipping. But that's history. That's what I love about the Quayside, the history. Such beautiful old buildings. And on the Gateshead side of the river, you've got the Sage, which is such a beautiful building. I've never actually been to it. I think it's like a music centre, theatre. I'm not too sure what it is. But I just know that when you walk along here in the evening and all these trees are lit up, it's absolutely beautiful. It's actually such a nice walk along here. So if you want to talk about the good places of Newcastle, the Quayside is definitely the place to come. And especially on a Sunday, because where I am now is a market. All the way along the street is a market selling food and goods. And it's such a nice atmosphere. It's really nice. And it's actually a pleasant walk. We're going to head up to the Millennium Bridge, cross over, and then I'm going to end the vlog there because I think I've showed you most of the good things, and I've also showed you some of the bad things. Don't you agree? It does tip as well when boats want to come through. It tips and moves. In the distance there you've got the Baltic, which is a rather strange and interesting art gallery. I never really understand modern art. Looks like rubbish. But still, for any art critics, there you are, that's the Baltic. Look how peaceful and still the Tyne is. Look at that. It's like glass. It's actually beautiful. So there you go, guys. Is Newcastle one of the worst places in the UK to live? I disagree. What do you guys think? Comment below. If you're from Newcastle, please let me know what you think. If you're from this area, if you're not from this area, let us know what you think about the video that you've just seen. Of course, every city, you're always going to get nice parts and you're always going to get grubby parts and not nice parts. It's just the way it is. Doesn't matter where you go in the world. So guys, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in Poland. We are doing the solo travel to Poland. So yeah, the wife is there with baby Mia, and I've never traveled to Poland on my own for a long time. I don't speak the language, so who knows, I might even get lost. That'll make the video interesting. Until then, stay safe, take care, do widzenia, pa pa.